So to get the most out of the wind forecast or the wind map, go to iwindsurf, ikitesurf. I think they're all the same. Maybe they have iwindfoil. I don't know. And we come over here to the wind map button, and this will be on other devices, phones, tablets. And we click the flow map. And this will bring up an animated flow. Then we want to come over here to this other drop-down menu, and we're going to switch from blend to the WRF models. Now, there's two. One is beta. I think this is like an AI one. And the other one is this 1 kilometer, which I believe is a model they've had forever, but I've heard talk they're getting rid of it. And so we'll do both. Let's try the 1 kilometer first. And then it brings up this animation. And then if we go down here to this play button, it says the time and the date. And so we can see the flow is offshore. It's coming from the valley or through the Sherman, the Delta, through the bay, and then out the gate. And so if we look at Chrissy, this is the spot. It's been onshore the past few days, directly north winds in the 20s. And so people have been winging at Chrissy. And so let's see what the model says for today. And here, this is Ocean Beach. We can see Ocean Beach is offshore. So if we click play, it just runs through it. So sometimes the initial play is choppy and hard to watch. And so if you run through it once and then click play, it can be smoother. But we can see the forecast with this model is basically, into the afternoon and the rest of the day. And by sunset, there's essentially no wind, or it's super light, glassy. And if we back it up to midday, we can see that the wind has almost blown itself out. This is often what happens with this wind direction, with offshore winds. And often it's not this directly north at Chrissy, it's more northeast. But for now, this is what we've had, and so a lot of people are stoked. So let's check out the beta model. Go back up here, click beta. And as we can see, this model shows a lot stronger wind outside, offshore, or, here's land, and then just offshore, the wind is stronger. So most of the wind is out here. But we can see the yellow, the green. There's actually some wind touching on Chrissy, some leftovers, some barely the edge. And then similarly with this model, it says the wind starts to blow itself out by the afternoon or by sunset. So in the off season, there's no human wind forecast from November-ish through March, I think, is when they start back up again, maybe April. And so I found that these models, these maps, these animations are the most accurate. And I even checked with one of the lead forecasters, and he's the one who showed me this. He said, yeah, the tables are kind of useless. Use the models, use these animated flow maps. And so if we go back and look, so what I do is I kind of just look at where are the blobs. This lets me know where the wind's going to be strongest and gives me, and then this flow map really tells me, okay, this is in general what the wind's going to do. And so if I were to go to Chrissy today, I would know that the further east I went, the more likely I would be out of the wind window. And so I'd want to be careful, stay in this little this little pocket so that I don't, if I go too far east, I'll probably get out of the wind window, be in the piers and stuff, and be in trouble. And so as long as I stay on the beach because it's on shore and in here, I'm all good to go. And so that's just an overview and how I use these flow maps in the off season. It really helps me. I use them in the on season too, but in the off season when there's no forecast, this is the best thing we have. And often I will, because I have a subscription to Surfline, I will go to Ocean Beach and look at the wind forecast here. So it just gives me another data point as to what the wind's going to do. And on these offshore days, it's not super helpful. But then when we come to, say, a south wind forecast day, that gives me an idea of what the wind's doing and another data point, especially on these big south wind days. It's saying that come here, it's going to be in the 20s and even maybe 30s on the coast. And so that's another data point. Okay, there's a storm coming. No, it's going to be south wind. So check the south spots like Alameda, Marina Bay, that kind of thing, Half Moon Bay. So that's what I do in the off season to help me understand what the wind is doing. And I find these blobs to be really helpful because like often might look at the tables and it'll say, oh, it's going to be in the teens or 20s. Then if we see like all these East Bay spots and even the peninsula, there's no wind or it's almost dead. And so if we took a glance at the tables, we might be fooled into thinking there's going to be some wind there. But if we take a look at these blobs, it gives us an idea of what the wind pattern's doing, where it's going to be strong, where it's going to be weak. And so we know that, okay, Alameda, no, there's no wind. Berkeley, no wind. Marina Bay, a tiny bit, but it's a weird direction. It's kind of offshore or out of the launch area. The peninsula, nothing, so no dice. And so this is super helpful for me to get like an overview, a big picture. And often on south wind days, it's really helpful because it lets us know if the wind is going to be solid and just lighting up all the south wind spots, or if it's going to be a little outside or in the middle of the bay or bypass Alameda and only be strong in the Marina Bay, Berkeley area. And so it's very, very helpful. And so this is what I do and how I find some wind in the off season. And so that's it. That's super helpful for me. And I hope this is helpful for you. Any questions, let me know. And check out the Learn to Foil course if you want to learn more tips, more guidance. Foiling is really fun. The community is great. And all these little things in the off season help us keep winging. And the surf's up and surf foiling is super fun. And so if you need help with that, let me know. I also give lessons in surf foiling and subfoiling, and let's keep flying. Let's keep getting together. It's what we need and what I need anyway. And I have a feeling you need it too. I know people feel the pull, the loneliness or the absence of having a daily thing to go to. And so we cherish these events in the off season when they come. And so let's get together and figure out how we can do this every day, even if there's no wind. How are we going to get to the beach and get in the water and get together and build that community, keep that community going, build that brother and that sisterhood, and connect with the land and with our people, and be together in that really good way. So thanks, and I hope this helps.